Hello, Cancer. Hello, Cancer. This is Adrian Igo, Capricorntigress from Astrology, a look inside, coming to you with your horoscope for December 2018. So, the big thing when I look at your chart, Cancers, well, you guys have a lot of emphasis on the other side of your chart, the partner side of your chart. There's a lot of emphasis going through the month of December. We've got that Venus in Scorpio. We've got Mercury retrograding from Sag to Scorpio. We've got Jupiter in Sag, the Sun in Sag. We've got Saturn in and Pluto in Capricorn. After the 21st, the Sun will be in Capricorn. We've got Mars in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, Chiron up there in Pisces. We've got Uranus in Aries, and on the 31st, Mars goes into Aries. And the only thing on the other side of the chart is the North Node in your first house. So this is telling me a couple of things. Okay, so let's start with that North Node in your first house. When the North Node is in your first house, it means that it's time for you to start looking or doing things that have to do with you. You might feel a little uncomfortable. You might be someone who's really partner oriented, and now it's time for you to spend time working on you. You know, the partnership area is going to be taken care of, because that would mean the South Node is floating over there. That's like something already that's going to be taken care of. But you have to work on you now. Work on improving you. You've got some time to do that. And when it all is said and done, when it comes out at the end, it'll be going into your 12th house. You know, hopefully you will have learned all of the things that you need to learn about yourself, your personality, your body, just your whole persona, your ego, all of that. That's going to be a major area of focus for you. It really is. And yeah, it's almost like it's a handle. It's the only thing over there. There's nothing in Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, nothing except for that North Node in Cancer. So with that said, just know that no matter what else goes on, it's really about you learning how to be a better person, really. And just learning how to honor you and be the best you can be. This is your opportunity to really fix yourself and to work on yourself in the best possible way. You do have that Venus in Scorpio that's down in that 5th house. That's floating around in that love house, and you know, thank goodness it's direct, so that's a good thing. But you know, it's floating around in that 5th house, and actually it's going to go into Sag. But for now, a little bit of love in the 5th house, a little bit of romance in your life, and the 6th house is really where all the emphasis is. The 6th house has got, you know, the Sun and Jupiter and Mercury and all kind of things going on. So you're really going to have your mind on your work this month. You're going to be thinking about work a great deal, and your health and your work. It's going to play up a little bit more than normal. After the 21st, the Sun moves into that 7th house. That's partnerships, like your serious partnerships, your long-term partnerships, or ones that you're committed to. And Pluto is there and Saturn is there. You might be feeling like you're ready to settle down and make a commitment to somebody, which is, you know, I don't know if that's something you planned on doing, but it's something that could be highlighted for you this upcoming year. In fact, this entire year, that is something that's indicated for you. That Pisces energy is up around that 9th house. You know, the funny thing about that, when you have Neptune there and Mars there, Chiron there, I feel like you're learning. You're like in the midst of learning a lot right now. You're growing. You're growing spiritually. Yeah, you're growing and learning. just about things different than you. You're learning how to, maybe even gaining an information and knowledge right now. Also travel. There could be travel coming, or has been travel. It couldn't be heavy to travel right now. So I don't know if, with Neptune and Chiron both there, Chiron's retrograde most of the month, and so is Neptune. So I would maybe avoid travel, but it's indicated. Maybe long distance communication in some way. Mars is going to be moving into that 10th house on the 31st, but Uranus is hanging out there, that in Aries. And Uranus is anything, it's craziness. So you may feel like your career is a little like topsy-turvy, a little crazy right now. And yeah, Uranus tends to do that. Just know it's a aspect. It's not going to stay there. Thank goodness it's coming out of that 7th house, or out of that area, out of Aries and going back into Taurus soon. It's the 10th house, excuse me. That's the career and the image and the reputation and, your social life, and maybe even a boss if you have one. But it's just, with Uranus there, it's crazy. And it's Aries. That's square Cancer. You're not feeling that at all. So, so let's hope your career and your reputation and everything gets taken care of. And just know that soon Uranus is going to be going out of that 10th house and into the 11th house. But then it's going to be affecting your friends and stuff. So I don't know. I feel bad that Uranus is sitting up there, kind of like your most elevated planet right now. Just craziness. Okay, so anyway, this has been my take for you, Cancers. My personal look at your chart and where the planets are falling. What I'm going to do now is go over the calendar and see how the planets or aspects that are happening in the month of December will affect you, okay, on a personal level. Very dry today, so bear with me. So on the 1st of December, Mercury is going to enter Scorpio, which is actually very good for you, because Mercury in Scorpio, Mercury is thinking, but that Scorpio is the 5th house. And that 5th house is trying you, Cancer. You're going to be thinking and talking about love and romance, flirting. I can see a lot of flirtations going on in December. The thing is, though, dial it down, because sometimes Mercury in Scorpio is so do or die, black or white, gotta do it or die, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of gray in there. So just relax and don't, cloak and dagger, just chill and relax that day, and really throughout the month when it comes to love and romance, and, no ultimatums or anything like that. But Mercury will be in the 5th house, so you will be thinking about love and romance, and you will be talking about love and romance. And it could also rule children. There could be some communication about children, and also taking chances, like risk. You could be thinking about taking a risk or a gamble. I could see you gambling on love or romance. I could see you gambling with business, like entrepreneurial pursuits. I can see that working. I would say play the lotto, but the thing is, I think it's retrograde, so be careful about that. That's 5th house emphasis. It should be good. I just see lots of romantic talk. On the 2nd of December, the Sun is square Mars, and that is, well, you can get upset at somebody in your work, because the Sun is going to be in that 6th house of work, and Mars is going to be up at the 9th house. It could just be like a difference in philosophical difference, like a difference of opinion. And so that is definitely a possibility, that you've got some crazy difference of opinion going on, and that could really create a problem with your work. Be careful, because you don't want to cause trouble with your co-workers and things like that. On the 5th, the sun is square Neptune, and the sun is going to be in your solar 6th house, and Neptune is in that 9th again. That's, again, more arguments with people you work with, more philosophical differences. You know, it could also, that square could just indicate that you are someone that is getting like training. You're aware that you need more training, or you need more education, or something of that nature. Or maybe you have to travel for work, and that travel is frustrating. It's something to do with work and that area. So be aware of that. That's just the 5th. On the 6th, the new moon goes into Sagittarius. That is that 6th house again. And Mercury goes direct in Scorpio, and that was that 5th house, and Mars is conjunct Neptune in that 9th house. So we've got a lot of emphasis going on in the 6th and 9th again. Back and forth it goes, and it's happening again. And now we've got Mars, we've got that Mercury going direct in the 5th house. So love is full speed ahead right now. And so is, well, work still has some craziness going on. I hope your work works out. On the 8th, Chiron goes direct, and Chiron is also in that solar 9th house. More of the, you know what the funny thing is? I'm just going to say something. With so much emphasis in Sagittarius in December, there is always a tendency that people get into these crazy arguments over something silly, like philosophical differences, like white people versus black people, Trump, versus non-Trump, Republicans versus Democrat. I'm just thinking of these crazy things like religious versus non-religious, right? Stupid arguments that cannot be won because they're based on philosophical differences. And from where you stand philosophically, you could feel completely different than the person you're arguing with. Please be aware that it's senseless to go into these arguments during the month of December, having these philosophical arguments and conversations with people, especially if it's a Sagittarius, because even that Mars and Neptune, that 9th house, is the house of Sagittarius. You're not going to win. So just let it go. You know what I mean? It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. That's the 8th, but that vibe is going to be really, you can feel that all month, really. You're going to be feeling that vibe. Now, on the 12th, Mercury enters Sagittarius. So, here we've got more emphasis in that Sagittarius house. Now there's, wow, there's, now even the romance, you're not even thinking about romance anymore. Now you're thinking about the money or your work or your health. I hope your health is okay. I keep saying work, but just be aware that this could very well be your health. This could very well be something that happened out of the blue with your health. And, that 9th house is spirituality, dealing with the spiritual or the religious or whatever, and dealing with health issues. So please be aware that it can take that way. But I tend to think it has more to do with you being upset at somebody that you worked with, and from a philosophical level, and you guys are maybe having an argument. I happen to know a Cancer who is angry with someone he worked with. And it's all philosophically based. Like, if you take it and pull it apart, that person may not even owe him money, but from his viewpoint, that person owes him money. And that is what I mean. This might carry into the month of December, and so you want to be cautious of that, because it's all based on a philosophical belief that that person did you wrong. Okay, so on, let's see, that was the 15th. On the 20th, the sun enters, on the 20th, the sun is trine Uranus. Sorry, I got lost there. Sun is trine Uranus. So, again, more of that 6th house again. And Uranus is going to be in your 10th house. Career and work. It's a trine, so hopefully things will get worked out for my Cancer friend, and hopefully things will get worked out for you when it comes to work and your career, and hopefully you'll be able to take a chance and good things will happen that day. It's not really a great day for Cancers, because that Uranus is in Aries, which is square Cancer, but it is your 10th house, and that is your career, that is your reputation, and that is your image. And just be aware that where Uranus up there, you could have a reputation for being crazy and unpredictable and eccentric. So please be cautious and be aware of the image and reputation that you leave behind, because this is how people see you, how they think of you, and it could affect your career. On the 21st, the sun enters Capricorn, and it's also winter solstice. Happy winter solstice, everyone. And Venus is also trine Neptune that day. So it's really a good day for love. And Venus is in Scorpio, and Neptune's in Pisces. That's a very idealistic love, but Scorpio is your 5th house. So again, more of that emphasis on that 5th house that I talked about. It's a very romantic day. Oh, and by the way, that is a Friday, so maybe date night. On the 25th, the moon is in Leo, and then the moon is trine Jupiter in Sagittarius. So that moon in Leo, that's Jupiter in Sagittarius. That's a beautiful day on Christmas. Please enjoy that day, because the moon is your ruler, and it's going to be in your 2nd house. I see you getting lots of presents on Christmas. On the 29th, we've got the moon in Libra, and we've got the sun in Capricorn, and guess what? They are squared each other, and so it is going to be a ugly little day. That is a Saturday. Be careful of arguments. In your case, the Libra falls in your 4th house, and Capricorn falls in your 7th house. So I could see you getting into arguments with your family or your partners or a husband or a wife or anyone you're in a committed relationship with. Be careful about that, because that is sort of indicated that day. It could be arguments with family members as well, or just a general feeling of dis-ease and non-comfort based upon perhaps an argument or something that you had with a partner. Okay, so be aware of that. And finally, on the 31st, Mars enters Aries. Now, as I was saying earlier, right, 2 days before, that square with Sun in Capricorn and Moon in Libra, now we got Mars in Aries. It is probably going to square that Capricorn Sun soon. So be aware of that. That Mars in Aries is now put Mars up in your career house, in your 10th house, and you might start getting a reputation for being a little aggressive coming up in Capricorn season in January. So that's what I see coming forward. Really a lot of emphasis in the career house for January. Well, you guys, this has been my reading for the month of December. It goes so fast, I tell ya. Thank you guys so much for liking and subscribing. And if you haven't already, please go to our website at astrologyalookinsight.com and subscribe to our website there. And then if you would like to get a free reading from me, Capricorntigress, you can go to my group on Facebook, which is facebook.com/groups/astrologyalookinside, and you can I'll greet you and tell you how you can get your request on this in the group. Okay, well, Merry Christmas to you, Happy New Year to you, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, all of those things, and namaste, namaste. Much love and light to you all. Happy New Year, everyone. Bye now.